Hi there. This is the first video of stories from the shed. This is actually a shed, my shed, that I built this summer. And I'm going to record some stories from this as a location. Comedy, I hope. Right now I'm going to talk about this kerfuffle regarding the comedy coup, which is it's not a contest. It's a comedy accelerator that the CBC is sponsoring or putting on. It's going to be on CBC. Should it go forward, it's going to be on CBC. And Comedy Coup is run by some people. I'm not sure who, but maybe they're in Vancouver. I just get an impression they're from Vancouver. Anyway, they you make a 90-second video. Most of you make a 90-second video. Then you send it off to these guys, and they take a look at it, and they judge it, or you judge it, because it's like a social media thing. There are rules. There are, certain stipulations. The 90-second video is a rule, I think, even though some people bypassed that and somehow got ones that were over 2 minutes long and 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes long and into the semifinal, let's say. After these videos are judged or voted on, 110 out of 283 were chosen. Now, in the rules, now remember, this isn't a contest. I'm saying it's a contest, but the people who are running it say, no, it's not a contest. It's a comedy accelerator, but it has rules. One of those rules is that nobody from the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, can enter a video. The rules go so far as to state that if Josephine Brown lives in my basement and we're not related, and if I work for the CBC, Josephine Brown cannot enter a video into this contest. Why? Because I work for the CBC. I don't really work for the CBC, but that's an example. You can see what I mean. So they want to stay away from the CBC as far as possible, which makes sense because it leads to all kinds of, it's not nepotism, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, hey buddy, you work for me, so maybe you can, promote my video a little bit, or maybe you can use some of my equipment, or maybe you can use some of my editing facilities, seeing as how you already work here. Now, the people who are running the contest and some of the winners, let's say, the people who actually have done things for the CBC are saying, no, 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 we don't work for the CBC. We work for production companies. We work for like Rainbow, Catfish, Mountaintop Productions. It's very Canadian, you see, so you got to have that kind of back to nature thing. Kind of like the shed, actually. Um, so they don't work for the CBC. The CBC hires the company to make the video. Then they buy it from the company. So the actors and people, staff, writers, whoever are actually working for another company. But their show is on the CBC. I used to work in film, so I know production companies. I know how the contracts work, all that kind of stuff. But the average Canadian, you pick, somebody out in Moose Jaw, they're going to say, if they see somebody winning the contest who has been on CBC, let's say this person was on Just for Laughs, or if they were on 22 Minutes, something like that, they would say, I thought this was supposed to be a contest. I thought, people, from CBC weren't going to be in this, so Marge changed the channel, stuff like that. It doesn't matter to me. If you want to work for the CBC, and you want to enter a video, it seems like you can. We've got writers, we've got producers, we've got talent, all who have done things for the CBC. All right, maybe they've done them through a third party, but they've done them for the CBC. The rules clearly state that that's not supposed to happen. If that's the case, and it doesn't really matter, why put that in the rules? Just forget about the rules. Everybody can enter a video. Peter Mansbridge, funny guy, he could enter a video. Different talent that's already on CBC. The thing about this comedy coup was it's supposed to be new talent. At least that's what I thought. That's the impression that it's like a talent hunt. It's like American Idol, Canadian Idol, all of those shows. They're looking for new talent. Instead, what they're getting are kind of rehashed talent. CBC has a lot of funny guys. Canada has a lot of funny guys, girls, people. Why specify something in the rules if you don't follow it? Now, again, it's not a contest, right? It's an accelerator. But there's a bunch of scenarios here that you might want to consider. Let's say that somebody wins the contest and they actually have done work for the CBC. Well, everybody in Canada is going to say, wait a minute, this was fixed. The CBC will look bad. The person who wins looks kind of bad because it looks fixed. Certainly the people who run the contest will look like it's fixed. Anyway, so that's one scenario. Another scenario is, let's say you put in a very good video and you have done work for the CBC and you don't win. Why didn't you win? Because it says in the rules you can't work for the CBC. So you get so far, but you can't get far enough, and your perfectly good video was disqualified because you've done work for the CBC, or it comes out later that you've done work for the CBC. I should say here, the honest people put in the little blurb, the resume thing on the video statement that they actually did some work for the CBC. Those are the honest ones. Maybe somebody else read the rules and said, geez, yeah, I did some bunch of work for the CBC, but I'm not going to put it in the thing there, and nobody's going to know, right? You know? I appreciate the honesty of the people who at least put it in their resume. The other guys, maybe you're trying to hide it. It doesn't really matter, does it? If the talent is out there, why exclude CBC talent? Why put it in the rules? It doesn't make sense. If you don't win, and you didn't work for the CBC, and somebody from the CBC does win, then that sets up a whole bunch of other things that, bad feelings and sour grapes. Let's call it sour grapes. Some of the groups, and I've talked to some of the groups who didn't make it through to the 110, feel this way. They feel, geez, these guys aren't following the rules. I mean, there's one video, for instance, that's 2 minutes and 32 seconds long. 2 minutes and 32 seconds long. It's a decent video. I mean, it's pretty well done. Obviously professional, not really amateur, if you must know. But how can they get by having a full minute longer than the rest of them? The rest of the guys were saying, geez, if I'd known I could put a video in that was 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, I would have been able to say so much more and get my point across and done a better push, a better pitch. How come you let one through that's 2 minutes and 32 seconds, but not the rest? It seems like it's pretty loosey-goosey, you know what I mean? It seems like it's pretty, they're playing it fast and loose. That's okay. Exclude the CBC crap. Just say anybody can enter it. Anybody. You work for City TV, CTV, CBC, it doesn't matter. If you're a secretary at CBC and you got something funny to go on, fine. Why exclude anybody if you're going to allow people who work third party from this, for the CBC? Those are most of my points. I don't give a damn, really. It's just I want to see new talent. I want to see not necessarily kids. I want to see young people have a chance. What I'm seeing in those videos are people who already have an established career, who are already doing things in the industry, coming back again to try and grab this show. It doesn't seem fair. I don't know. Maybe you guys think it's fine. Maybe it's all perfectly legal. I don't think it is. That's my opinion. And maybe you'll come back and see some more of my videos. Hope so. Over and out.